Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to you guys for getting me this microphone. I love it. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get ready. I'm trying to get this camera fixed up right. Cool, cool. This is good. Good lighting. Hopefully you guys don't hear the background music. But yeah, let's get right into it. First, I need to wash my hands. Let me wash my hands quick. I've been touching my phone and stuff. Gotta have clean hands. Hopefully the microphone sounds good. Cool, hands are washed. We're looking clean. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Hey, hey. Yeah, I know you guys are just tuning in. I'm about to open the bar, you know what I'm saying? Been open actually for an hour, but you know what I'm saying? I kind of be getting stuff ready. So yeah, let's see. I got a bunch of fruit behind me. Y'all check that out, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of fruit, yeah. Oops, don't mean to mess with the camera too much. But yeah, what's going on, guys? How's the day going? We're gonna get the berries ready real quick. We got blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, all types of stuff. Here in a bit too, after I get all this fruit ready, we're going to make some cocktails. I need to batch up stuff for the weekend, you know? I'm gonna do old fashions. We got a couple signature drinks that are extremely popular. Some traditional ones too that are extremely popular, like the espresso, you know? The espresso is such a popular drink, you know? I remember it was like, what, 3 years ago? Wasn't really all that popular in my area in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But that's changed. That's changed. It is now booming. Let me check something out. Just had my exam on Monday. Hey, how did the exam go? Let me know what's up. What's up? You passed? You good? What are a couple of things you guys gonna be doing this summer? You know, I'll just be bartending, you know, trying to get sun as much as I can. Summer don't last long around here in the Midwest, you know, but we'll take what we get, you know. But yeah, I just watched the blackberries. Those are pretty good. I kind of want to try some, but maybe I'll do that later. I don't want to be chewing, eating on the live. I think I could. Hey, let's see. Cool. When do the results come back? How long does that take? Hopefully everything went well, man. Hopefully you was confident. Speaking exams, man, I've been busy, yo. I been working on getting my license for insurance for health and life, and I'm not gonna lie, I gotta be honest, you guys, I failed twice. So I got my third exam coming up on next Thursday. So I've been trying to, you know, lock in, make sure I'm focused, and it's tough. I ain't gonna lie. You know, this is something that's all brand new to me. I've been bartending ever since I turned 21. I'm about to be 30 in September. So that's really all I know, you know? Let's see what's going on. What's up, guys? What's up, chat? You're a sad girl? Okay, well, turn that frown upside down. Do we need to take some tequila shots to change that? Cause I got tequila, I got whiskey, you know, whatever you're feeling. Okay, what else? Let me just tap in with the chat. You know, I want to make sure we're talking and communicating. Hopefully 2 weeks. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take too long, you know. Yeah, but Jenna, you know, the sickness is going around here in Sioux Falls. My son, oh my goodness, all three of them are actually sick. Yeah, started with my oldest boy. It's his birthday actually today. He just turned 5, so let me get a happy birthday. Let me get a happy birthday for my oldest boy. But yeah, it started with him, and then it just spread like wildfire. You know, it's just how it is in a household of, and they're all boys, you know, so they're just crazy, you know, just crazy guys. But yeah, here we go. We got some blueberries. Try not to make a mess, but I'm a bartender, so I make a mess all the time. Give them a quick rinse, quick wash. You know, I actually made a video on, you know, getting ready with me as a bartender, you know, but I want to hire an editor, you know, to make it like real legit, you know, because I am a one-man army over here. I wouldn't even say army, you know, I'm just probably just a team, you know, I haven't been that established, but yeah, it's just hard with doing everything by myself. On top of being a dad, you know, trying to be consistent with the gym, a loving partner, you know, working on my insurance license. I'm actually also opening up a mobile bar. I wanted to be ready by this summer, but just it's been too hectic around these neck of the woods. I just got a horse trailer, and that will be renovated into my mobile bar. So that's exciting news. I'm just, you know, kind of a bit of a ways to where I really want to be, you know. But yeah, here we are cutting strawberries. I just cut little slits down the middle, you know. Some people will dice them up. I just think presentation-wise, it looks so much better when you have the whole strawberry, you know. I'm sure there's other ways to cut it to make it really pop out, you know, but you know, you got to get your buck's worth around here. So yeah, we got strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Got a big old pineapple back here. Forgot to get cucumber. I'll get that later. But yeah, let's see. We'll cut up a little bit of limes and lemons. I already got limes and lemons ready, but I want to get them ready for tomorrow, Friday, and also, nah, we won't do Saturday. We'll worry about that at a different time. Oh, bummer. All we got is these little baby cups. We usually have kind of bigger glassware, but I'll take what I get, you know. So we'll fill these up with limes and lemons. After this, we'll go ahead and make some drinks. That's kind of the more exciting part, so we'll go ahead and do that next. But before we get into cutting, I do want to give a huge shout out to my members. I do have a members only channel. What you get over there is, you know, I try to post those videos in advance when I drop, you know, on the regular channel. But yeah, I put the ratios, ingredients on screen of of all cocktails that I make, all martinis, all that jazz. You'll find that on the screen. I also pin it in the comments. But yeah, shout out to Abao. I don't know. He's been with me for 6 months. He's my first member, so huge shout out to him, man. He really got the ball rolling, and really appreciate him being here. I believe he's in the military, so you know, thank you for your service, man. You're a cool dude. Mike Peck, he's also been here for 6 months. Yeah, that's my guy. He be commenting. Speaking of commenting, dude, my Don Draper, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's commenting like all the time, showing love, so really appreciate him. Really appreciate you, my guy. Keep the comments coming, you know what I'm saying? It does help the algorithm. And 3 Bacon, he's been here, oh gosh, maybe about 4 months, give or take. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Bacon. And we got a couple new members, Yix, I believe his name is. And then I just got one like 2 days ago, Alex Price, if I remember right. So shout out to you guys, you know, shout out to the community for subbing. You know, I think it's like $2 a month, you know, so nothing too extreme. And yeah, thank you for being with me. Thank you for sticking around. And really appreciate you guys' support, you know, so shout out to all them. And yeah, if you're interested in becoming a member, the link is somewhere on the channel, you know, so go ahead and tap in with me. If you haven't already, you know, you got to be subscribed. You know, I try to, you know, push out content as much as I can, but I'm not going to lie. As of lately, it's just been a roller coaster. You know, I really need to hire someone to edit videos for me, because I just feel like so much needs to get done, and I'm just not doing enough, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll just try to keep it coming. You know, the channel has kind of fallen off on popularity. And that happens. I'm okay with that. You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm here for longevity. You know, booming or not, you know, you guys are still gonna get content. But yeah, make sure you comment, you know, and try to help me out there. With cutting limes, how I like to do it is I'll just, you know, cut the tips off, you know what I'm saying, right there. And then just cut dead center right down the middle. You know, we got 2 hemispheres basically, right? And then what I'll do is I'll cut right down the middle right there. And I just do like maybe a quarter of a cut in there, you know, so that way it kind of opens up, right? And what that does is when it comes to garnishing a cocktail, martini, whatever, you know, you can just set it right on the rim, you know what I'm saying? Every single one of these cuts is already ready to go, you know? So pretty easy, pretty convenient. Definitely gotta make that center cut, you know, right down right there, you know, right down the spine. So makes it easier in the long run. How's the microphone sounding? I literally just got this microphone not too long ago, and yeah, I hope it's working. I will be recording this weekend with the GoPro with the camera. I still have content from last year that I'm working on. It's crazy. I was recording like 24/7, it seems like, because I still have content from last summer. That's pretty surreal. But yeah, the video should be sounding a lot better once I work through my current inventory of videos. You know, I do have the media mod on the GoPro, so it definitely helps. But I just was thinking like, man, I need to step it up. I need to sound more professional, you know. But yeah, enough about me, guys. What's going on in the chat? You guys doing good out there? Where are you guys from? Thank you. Sounds good. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about the videos to catch up from last year's content. I want to skip out on the captions. If you're a frequent watcher, let me know, you know, how much the captions mean to you, because I really just want to powerhouse and get as much of this content as I can pushed out, so that way I can get you the new content from this year with the microphone. Oops. But yeah, we opened the bar at 3 and I haven't had a single soul. It's kind of gloomy out, and you know, business isn't really flourishing with weather like this. We have a huge patio. It sits like 300 people, a little under 300. It's like 297 or something. I counted one time. And yeah, when we got the patio open, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm sure you guys seen a little bit with the videos. I rarely work outside though. Outside, it's mostly just like Jack and Coke, Tito's water, like very easy cocktails. Whereas in here, we're doing all types of different stuff, you know, espresso martinis, Cosmos, lemon drops, old fashions, mojitos, all the works, including our signature stuff. And not all the bartenders know how to do so, you know, we're fairly limited inside, so I just stick inside, which I don't mind, you know, like I'm with the AC, I get to play whatever tunes I want, you know. Not necessarily, you know, I'm sure you guys seen with Tim, you know, he's the actual owner. He, you know, not the biggest fan of hip hop, and I understand that, you know. I try to play whatever the audience would like. Whatever the guests want to hear, I try to play that stuff. But when it gets like busy and popping, later in the evening, you know, we get a younger crowd, you know, and so I know they like that hip hop, you know, they like those kind of tunes, you know, which I kind of like too, you know, so inside isn't all that bad. But outside, the sun's just booming out there, you know, so like the lighting just looks so nice. Maybe I'll try to get more exposure outside. see. I predict the first customer today will order an old fashioned. You know, you might not be wrong. Old fashions are extremely popular. That's actually one of the drinks I will be batching is the old fashioned, just because it kind of takes a little bit of time to build one, you know. And when it's busy, you want to be able to produce as much as you can. The more cocktails you get out, the more sales you get, the more gratuity you get. And we all like that mignon. I got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on the TV right now. Such a classic. I was born in '95, so I definitely like that '90s stuff, you know. So yeah, from Chicago, from Sweden. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, you know, I think I've seen your name on the channel. Oh yeah. Nice. What's it like out there? What's the weather like? Is it all right? Chicago, I'm sure you're a big Bears fan. I was actually there last fall. That was my first NFL game. I went and saw the Bears. One of the family members, huge Bears fan, you know, so you had to go check it out. My first time in Chicago. I had a phenomenal night. Super fun, beautiful city. But yeah, old fashioned. How do you guys like your old fashioned? You guys whiskey? You know, like a bourbon or a rye? I wouldn't do a scotch, you know, just because scotch has such big, bold flavors. You kind of want to just drink that by itself. Kind of ruin it with an old fashioned. I'm a big tequila fan. I like mezcal, so if I were to get old fashioned, I generally like to do it with a reposado. And none of that fake stuff. None of that like Don Julio or Casamigos, man. That stuff ain't good. Ah, never tried an old fashioned, huh? You know, it's a sipping cocktail. It may not be for everyone, but if you like whiskey, I definitely think you would like an old fashioned. That's how I got into whiskeys, you know. When I first started as a bartender, I noticed how popular the drink was, and I was like, man, I gotta tap in and see what this is all about. And so, you know, to build that palate, I was just drinking old fashions for a while, and eventually, it's just like you just get used to the taste of whiskey, whether it's bourbon, rye, and yeah, super tasty drink. People say it can be like a challenging cocktail to make, but honestly, it's all about the way you build it. You know, you got to take it step by step, and you got to know your ingredients for sure. For example, there's bitters in there. I got an orange bitters right now. I got to go grab the Angostura bitters. But yeah, there's bitters in there, and this stuff is like seasoning, you know, in the kitchen. You know, this stuff, a little goes a long way. You know, you don't need a whole lot of it. So you definitely want to play around and get to know, you know, your preference. Everyone kind of has different versions or different measurements of making an old fashioned and other drinks as well. But as a bartender, you want to establish what you like, you know, and over time, you know, like with me, you know, I like to make it the way that I make it, and people will specifically wait for me so that way I can make it for them, because they happen to also too like the way that I make it. And if I have time, which you don't see much of when I'm bartending on the weekends, when I have time, I will ask the guest, you know, what about an old fashioned do you like? You know, do you like it because it's sweet? You know, because there's a little touch of sweetness to it. It's not like a super sugary drink like a mojito or something, but you know, there's a little sweetness to it. Do you like the orange? You know, because then I could maybe do more orange bitters, because I like to do a blend of Angostura and orange. And you know, sometimes do a little bit more orange, or maybe I'll do like 2 spritzes of an orange peel. You know, sometimes people like it because it's a sipper. They like it that it's spirit forward. So instead of doing just like your standard bourbon, like 80 proof, I'll let them know like, hey, if you want, I'll do a barrel proof, which is a higher percentage of ABV. So if that's what they like, you know, you just try to customize their cocktail to their liking, you know. And that's the beauty of mixing drinks, you know, like there's definitely a recipe and a way to make it, but you know, you like what you like, and if you found a certain way that you like it, then and you know, enjoy it. You know, like some people will get like just recently, you know, in the most recent video I posted, you know, this dude I think got it was like an Angel's Envy Coke, which definitely makes my skin crawl because Angel's Envy is it's a nice whiskey, you know, and yeah, why would you want to ruin it with Coke? But if that's your thing and you're paying for it, you know, have at it, you know, get it how you want it. Um, but yeah, old fashions, man, they're pretty tasty. You know, you can smoke them. Yeah, you can smoke them. We smoke them here, not always. You know, upon request, we'll smoke them. Uh, yeah, we got some pineapple. I definitely got to tax the pineapple because pineapple is just so good, so good. I'm ready to start making some drinks. I'm about to, so I'm about to batch up espresso because we make a lot of those. And we got this, maybe you can see it a little bit. There's a little, let me see, right back there, there's a little coffee machine. It does make fresh espresso, but the owners, they just haven't got more grounded coffee, you know, so we haven't been making the fresh stuff for a while. But we got this other stuff. I'll grab it right now. Let me get caught up with the comments. Never drink in my life. What cocktail should I be doing? So if you've never had a single lick of alcohol and you want to start out with the cocktail, that's a really good question. You know, I'd probably go with something that's light and easy, nothing too spirit forward. So I'm looking for this knife. Let me know, what are some things that you like? What you know, you kind of want to base it off things that you like. You know, like at home, what are some things that you enjoy drinking? Juice, what kind of fruits you like? What kind of vegetables do you like? Are you an herbal kind of person? Let me know, what do you like to drink? And then we'll go from there. So here's our espresso. I don't think it's a cold brew. No, yeah, made from cold brew. But it does have a good amount of caffeine. It's like 100, what is it? Caffeine, where you at? Oh yeah, so one serving, which is 1.1 ounce, so about an ounce. Every ounce of this stuff, you get 135 milligrams of caffeine. So that's honestly quite a bit of caffeine. For comparison, you know, you get those Aloha or C4s, you know, those energy drinks. For a whole can, it's like 200 milligrams is kind of standard. You know, for a Red Bull little can, it's like 70 milligrams. You know, we got these liquid ice energy drinks and 80 milligrams in this whole can. 1 ounce of this, 134. So it's a lot of caffeine for sure. With that being said, I've already taste tested this stuff. We just got it like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And anytime you're getting something new, you definitely want to taste test it. You know, you want to taste it by itself. You want to taste it within said cocktail and get an idea of the direction it's going in. With this stuff, even though it says cold brew, it is pretty potent. The other cold brew that we used to have was not as bold as this. You know what I'm saying? So I like to tame it down with a little bit of sugar. And you should definitely do that if you're using fresh espresso as well, because that fresh stuff, it just takes over the martini. You know, it definitely takes over the cocktail. So in order to balance it out, you definitely want to add some sugar. And that's exactly what we do here with this one. So yeah, let me know, man. You haven't got back to me on what kind of stuff do you drink. I watch all your videos, enjoy watching with. Hey, nice, thanks, man. So, enjoyed watching whiskey cocktails. So if you want to start out with whiskey cocktails, like I was just saying a second ago, it wouldn't hurt to start out with an old fashioned. You're kind of going to be jumping the line because it is a spirit forward cocktail. So if you want to maybe do something that isn't so spirit forward, maybe go with like a whiskey sour, you know. Whiskey sour, that's going to be bourbon or rye. I personally like bourbon with the whiskey sour. And each bar is kind of going to make it a little bit differently. I would totally recommend going to a cocktail lounge because they'll probably use egg whites. So as long as you're not allergic to eggs, you should be good there. But they'll use egg whites, lemon, sugar, and whiskey. And if you plan on making this at home, I would definitely watch a video. I might have a little tutorial on how to make a whiskey sour or a New York sour in my catalog. But with making it, you know, one of the main things that you want to be doing is making sure that you're dry shaking your cocktail. Egg whites is a super stubborn ingredient and does not want to blend well with the other ingredients. So what you do is you get your shaker, you add all your ingredients, egg whites, sugar, lemon, whiskey, and then before you put ice in it, you put your, you know, you got your shaker, you got your ingredients, pop it in there. Ooh, that was probably loud. You know, make sure it's sealed, and then just shake away. Shake like crazy. The dry shake is really gonna break down the egg whites and blend in the other ingredients. And then you do a wet shake. So you pop the top off, and then you add your ice, and then you put more in there, and then shake away, you know? So that's gonna really just make it balance out, you know? So a whiskey sour, phenomenal cocktail. It's been around for I don't know how long, but it's been around. Shout out to my boy Don. What's going on, man? I know it's been a long time coming. I've been meaning to do a live on like getting ready, you know, with the bar and whatnot. I gave you a shout out in the other members earlier and kind of in the beginning. But yeah, what's going on, man? How you doing? We just cutting up some pineapple. I really didn't explain how we cut it, but basically, you know, we just, you know, want to cut a little piece off, right? The whole pie, right? I'm gonna do another one because I need to get my pineapple tax. I appreciate you, bro. Like I said earlier, man, you're always commenting, you're always showing love, and you're a real one for that. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and nice little cut, you know, maybe like an inch, you know. I want to make sure that my guests are getting their buck's worth, you know. I ain't gonna lie, it kind of irritates me when people don't eat the fruit, but I understand, you know, some people are like, I'm kind of a germaphobe, and sometimes, yeah, it just kind of throws me off. But so yeah, what I did there, it's kind of like cutting a pizza, really. So if you can kind of, hopefully you can see, you notice the coloration in that center? That piece right there is pretty firm. It's not necessarily the best to chew on, and so the goal is to get rid of that, you know, and you can decor it with, you know, a utensil, but you know, we don't always go through a whole thing of pineapple in one weekend, you know, so I want to preserve it and not let it go to waste. So yeah, once you got it cut, you're gonna cut it literally just like a pizza, you know, a pie. Basically, you're gonna take this hole, you're gonna cut it into sixths, and then you see that little core part right there. We're just gonna cut that off. So you cut that off, you're left with that, and then you put a little slit right down there, so that way you can garnish it. So there we are. Bam. I'm definitely gonna cut up some later for myself. You know, we may not get benefits and like insurance and stuff like that, but we get fruit to eat on, you know, so that's cool, right? That's all right. But yeah, here we go. Getting all this ready. I did wash my hands earlier, so don't knock me, you know. I still got to cut up some cucumber. Cucumber's in the back though, and I don't want to leave you guys. But I think that's pretty much all the fruit. I got a little bit cut up for the weekend. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next It's Thursday today, you know, Friday Junior, you know. I want to make sure I'm getting stuff ready for the weekend. So we're going to go ahead and get into our batch work. Some things we batch around here, you know, the espresso martini, that like flies off the shelf. We run out of that like every single weekend. But I told the distributor, I was like, give me a whole pack, you know. So instead of sending, he usually sends 3, you know, we got a 6-piece now. So we should be good for this weekend. Where the bunnies? Where the bunnies, man? I don't know. They be coming tomorrow, man. So stay tuned. They're always hopping around somewhere, you know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to shaking. All right. So let me put this away. What's the mic sounding like? I know I got confirmation it sounds good. Everyone feel that way? We doing good? A little bit of advice, you know, with like what kind of shaker should you get? I am such a freak for Boston shakers. You know, we got I put them all away because I don't like the other shakers. I absolutely hate those shakers. But yeah, Boston shakers, they're my personal favorite. I love them. You know, some bartenders will ask me, they're like, you know, how do you get it off so easy? You know, because there's times where, you know, they're fucking smacking the hell out of it. They can't get it off. So you see that less space, you know, is from the top going down to 6 o'clock. A lot of space up here and basically none at the bottom. I like to slap it like, let's say this is 12 o'clock, right? And 6 o'clock is down here. I like that 1 to 2. That's like the sweet spot. If you just smack it right there, and you don't even gotta apply a whole lot of pressure. You just smack a little bit, voila. But yeah. What's going on in the chats? You ever thought about bartending in Vegas? Oh man, I was just in Vegas. I went to EDC actually. A couple of the brothers, it was a boys trip. It was my older brother. He just turned 30, 32, and he's never been to Vegas. He's never been to like a festival, and so I was like, man, last year, 2024, I had bought the tickets as soon as they came out. We got VIP, and yeah, we just recently went. It was his birthday weekend, and it was just absolutely nuts. I don't think I could bartend in Vegas, you know. It just seems pretty nuts, pretty insane. But I guess that depends on what kind of bar you're at. You know, not every bar, I'm sure, is like extreme, like what we kind of witnessed. But I got a family, you know, and I just got roots, you know, here. And so to go out to Vegas would just kind of seem extreme. If I was a single individual, no kids, no real attachments, you know, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind exploring, you know, expanding my horizons and see if it's a thing that I would really see myself doing for a decade or plus. But, you know, yeah, there's my answer. I think it'd be great, super fun, especially to live in Vegas. I know everyone kind of like generally thinks that if you live in Vegas, like you're always living this crazy lifestyle. But I know for a fact that there's individuals that are just like you and I. You know, they're not always partying every single weekend, you know, or whenever. Like they got a mortgage to pay for. You know, they got stuff they got to handle, and you got to do your job. You know, it's not just vacation 24/7. You know. But yeah, let's go ahead and lock in. So we're gonna make some espresso. I like using vanilla vodka. I am such a fan of the vanilla vodka instead of using a standard vodka. I think it just really complements the martini. So vanilla, some kind of coffee liqueur. We got Mr. Black, and then we also got this other one we recently got. And honestly, I don't know why we have 3 different coffee liqueurs. It seems a bit too much, but we do, you know. And I try to avoid using Mr. Black unless it's like a Black Russian where it's just vodka and a coffee liqueur. I think Mr. Black complements that much better than just throwing in an espresso, you know. So I like using Kahlua. It's a bit cheaper than Mr. Black. You know, you definitely want to be cost effective when you're behind the bar. And then yeah, you know, I got the, where'd I put it? I got the quote-unquote cold brew, and then I like to use a bit of sugar. I got some bar syrup, you know, finest call stuff, bar syrup. So let's go ahead and do our thing. Maybe I should use a jigger, but we just gonna, you know, we want 2 ounces per martini. I can fit 3 in here. I just am not able to add a whole lot of ice, so the dilution of it doesn't really happen, I guess, as much as it should, but that's okay. That's all right, man. No one's complaining, like, oh, this martini's too strong or whatever. But we keep it in the cooler so it stays cold, you know, so as for the temperature part of it, that, you know, we don't need a whole lot of ice. It's mainly dilution that's missing out. What's happening with Tim and the music? He's actually next door. Should we go get him and ask him? Man, that is, honestly, that always makes me laugh. Bro, dude, you're always commenting on like where's Tim, and he's commenting on the music and whatever. But yeah, he's always on a mood swing about that, man. And it's kind of frustrating. All right, I just did 2.5 martinis worth, so. Cool. You know, some people count differently. Some people do like an 8 count where they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, others I like to do just a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of count. Do whatever works for you. You know, just make sure you got it right. You just don't like hip hop shit. Yeah, that basically it. You know, and what I think what comes with that is like the crowd. You know, I think he just gets a little worried that like stuff's gonna get broken and it's gonna get a little too ratchet or whatever, but like I said earlier, you know, I really think that who's ever in the bar, like they should be able to hear their kind of music. If the majority is a younger crowd, I'm definitely gonna be playing some kind of hip hop, you know. This stuff smells strong. Strong, strong, strong. Oh gosh, did I put sugar in this? Oh my gosh, chat. Did I put sugar in it? Did you see me pour this in there? I don't remember if I did or not. Don, I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, located in the Midwest at bin 201. Yeah, not real sure if I put sugar in this or not, so we're just gonna say I didn't, and then I'll taste test it, and I'll know then. So let's go ahead. You didn't. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Play what the crowd wants. 100%. 100%. My guy knows what he's talking about. And we have a DJ that comes in every Saturday during the fall, winter, and spring, and he does a phenomenal job at doing just that. I'll never forget one night. It was a bachelorette party. Just like walked in, there was like maybe like 12 ladies, and he started playing Shania Twain. Shania Twain. And if you met our DJ, like, he doesn't look like a person that like knows Shania Twain's hits. But man, he's an experienced DJ, and he definitely knows what he's doing, and he definitely knows how to do it. And he started playing Shania Twain, and these girls went crazy. I'll never forget it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, man, because it really just goes to show how important music is, you know? And if you can tap in with your guests and really give them that experience. Oh, they were going bonkers. They literally, can't really see it right now, but you know, so he will set up just right over there in the corner, right over there in the corner back there. You can kind of see his stereo right there. He has another stereo too, you can't see, but he'll set it right in the corner. We moved the furniture, and they literally just made this big old circle and just started going crazy, and I loved it. I loved it. Something that's kind of interesting to know as a bartender, there's basically, maybe there's more than 2 shakes, but the way that I look at it, the way you want to shake really depends on what kind of ingredients are in your shaker. So anything that you want to open up, you know, and basically get frothy, you want to like roll the ice, you know. You just want to give it Basically this kind of motion, like a circular motion, where the ice goes from the bottom, slides across the shaker, goes up, and then goes down, you know? You want to shake it like that, you know? Whereas if it's like a mojito, where you just want to blend the ingredients together, you know? Up and down, basically, you know? So that's the kind of two shakes that I think about, you know? This looks, yeah, but yeah, you know, circular, shake, boom, or, you know, da 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 da. But yeah, you know, that circular motion, that really opens up the ingredients, really gets frothy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a coffee drinker, but this stuff smells so good. Set the bar off real quick, it sure will. Bar plays good music, I'll go there all the time. Yeah, 100%. You playing good music, and that's the thing, man, like around here, we don't have a whole lot of bars that play like current rap, current hip hop. And I don't go out much, you know, so maybe there's like one here or there, you know, that has became recent, but like when it comes to current rap, current hip hop, like we're definitely the bar, you know. And it's crazy because like not a lot of people would think that, being that we're kind of like a cocktail lounge and it looks very like up classy here, but you know, sales if we get, you know, man. That's rich. Sorry for smacking my lips. That's rich. Vanilla, little hint of chocolate. I got the froth, you know, from just that little. Really tasty. A little quick tidbit. Don't ever taste test someone's drink out of the glass. Like, let's say I got an old fashioned, right? I got their glass right here in my hand. I'm like, let me see if it's balanced out right. Let me see if I did good. You don't want to stick it in there, you know? Old fashioned, bad example because you don't really use a shaker for it. Maybe some bars do. Generally though, I'll build it up in the glass. But yeah, never stick your straw in the glass that you'll be serving the guests with. Instead, use your shaker. You know, that's just a little bartending etiquetteness. What's up with Grwm, man? Definitely my favorite bartender for sure. Oh, I got some ladies coming in. We'll get right back to that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. You know, we ain't in the live, but these ladies are coming. Maybe they're coming in. Oh, I gotta go outside. Wah. Okay, they're sitting outside. It's really gloomy out, so it is what it is. Don't go anywhere, you guys. I'll be right back, all right? All right, so two ladies outside. They did not get an old fashioned. All right, before I tell you what exactly they got, let me see your guys' guess. Let me see what you guys think that they're gonna be drinking. I'm gonna get their drinks. Go ahead, let me know what they're drinking. I'll be back. They got tap beer. They got tap beer. Espresso. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, definitely close with, cause man, espresso, like I said, crazy, crazy. But, one of them wanted a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. Unfortunately, we don't have any at the moment. She said if not that, then Juicy Haze IPA, and then a Coors Light. So very easy going. How funny is that, though? How funny. Okay. Yeah, they got tap beer, which is very surprising. I wouldn't. They definitely look like winos. One of them was for sure. She knew her wines, and I was just like, oh gosh, sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't. It's Thursday, we definitely should. Got an order in, and Tim never puts it away, so even if we did get it, it wouldn't be cold, it wouldn't be chilled. But yeah, they just got 2 tap beers, and I had a feeling. I had asked her, I was like, if we don't have the New Zealand Sauv Blanc, is there a different beverage you'd like? And she was like, yeah, I'll take an IPA. So I let her know her options for an IPA. And yeah, fortunately we didn't have what she was looking for. Wine based. But yeah, back to Grwm. Grwm, man, love him to death. He's such a cool dude. Seriously, man, he has a way with the ladies, for real. I've been telling him, man, these girls been asking about you, and he just don't care. He's just such a cool, smooth individual. He had moved to Arizona. So he's loving life out there. I told him, I was like, bro, you need to come back, man, and do a little celebrity bartending. You know what I'm saying? I know that people would love to see him. People, literally, someone just last night was like, oh, where's Grwm at? He asked for this specific drink, and as soon as it was like this orange, like that popsicle, like an orange cream soda popsicle or whatever. He had asked for one of those, and I let him know. I was like, bro, that's a Grwm special, man. Like, I could definitely make it for you, but that was one of Grwm's drinks, so I'm not exactly sure what all ingredients he used, what measurements he did. Yeah. Shout out to Grwm, man. We miss him. Hopefully he'll come, for a weekend or two. If that's the case, I'll totally ask him if he wants to wear the GoPro for like an hour or so, and get some footage of what's it like from his point of view, because he's a cool cat for real. Last summer he was always in charge of the music. You may have seen it in the videos. I remember I was editing a video not too long ago, and I told him, I was like, oh, bro, Tim's bugging out, man. Tim's bugging out about the music. And then I don't know what he said exactly, but it was definitely like it was a, smart comment, witty comeback, and I just thought it was funny. And yeah, we sure do miss him. He his replacement, I mean, you can't replace Grwm, but the person that's been filling his spot is this gentleman by the name of Brad. You guys haven't seen Brad yet, even though he's been with us for years now. Years he's been with us. But he normally would work outside. And so, yeah, you guys haven't got to see Brad. But he's a cool dude. He's a little bit older. His main gig, he's a big dog with HVAC systems. Works for How, I believe it is, here in Sioux Falls. And Yeah, cool dude. He knows his stuff too. One thing I like about Brad, his hospitality skills are crazy. He always has like the best comeback. He gets people laughing, and he can do it with like any person. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, I feel like my hospitality is highlighted with like my mannerisms and like how I treat people. Um, how I'm nice. Respectful. But with him, he's just like he just has these phrases. He's quick thinking, and he just gets me to laugh when I hear his stuff. I'm like, dude, like, how do you think of this? I don't even think he thinks about it. I think he just says it, and it's just so natural of him to say these things. Okay. Not gonna lie, that last batch, it sat for a while, so I don't think it's not gonna look as frothy as it should. And I'll be honest, by the time the weekend hits, that froth really isn't as noticeable. Like you barely can tell the froth is there. It is there, but when you make it for them right there on the spot, the froth is definitely there. But when you got it batched, the froth really isn't there, and unfortunately, people do eat with their eyes. And if the presentation isn't necessarily there, I don't even feel like all that confident serving it because I'm like, oh, I don't really look the part, But when it's busy, it's busy. And I want to get people served. I don't want people waiting 15, 20 minutes for their drink, If I can get it out to them faster, I sure will do my best. But let me get caught up with you guys. Okay, yeah, we're saying basically where we left off. Yeah, so there's the espresso. You can kind of tell in the lighting, like it's really dark at the bottom and it's gradually, gets lighter and frothy up top. But yeah, there's the espresso. We'll go through this like within the first hour. What I'll do mid-shift, like once I see this going low and a guest, they ask for an espresso martini, I'll grab 2 shakers and then just make as much as I can, like 6 martinis worth basically, and then I'll kind of fill this up, as we go, per request, But yeah, we got the espresso batched. I want to do the old-fashioned next, just because I know we were talking about it earlier. Hopefully the people that were asking about it are still in here. Let me give these a quick rinse. Hey Don, where are you from? I don't think I asked you where you're from. Maybe you told me in the past, but remind me again where you're from. Do you have a least favorite drink to make? Least favorite drink. Anything that's real time consuming, when it's busy. When it's busy, anything that's time consuming, I'm like, shoot, I wish they, ask for something else. But I'd probably say mojito. You put the mint in the shaker, you got to touch the rum, mint, sugar, lime. That's it, 4 ingredients that you got to touch right off the bat. Put that in your shaker. Some people muddle the mint. I'm just like, dude, if I just shake it hard, super hard, that'll be okay. I like to fine strain it because I don't want little mint pieces getting in my teeth if I were a consumer. So I make it how I would want mine. So I'll grab a double strainer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Fine strainer, double strain it, one of these bad boys, you know, so that way the mint doesn't get in your cocktail. And then what I'll do is I'll grab another thing of mint, slap it, wake the oils up, put it in the drink before I add ice, then I'll add ice so that, you know, it looks the part, you know, mint's there. And then you got to touch club soda. So I mean, I've touched like what, 6 things, 7 things, and then yeah, add your club soda. Then you got to garnish it with lime, mint, you know, and then once again, you grab your head of mint, you slap it. It just takes so much time, you know, for one drink. And I think a mojito here is like $9. So it's like, I basically like did so much, you know, and for one drink for $9. It'd be different if it were like, you know, a $12 drink. I feel a little better about it, but yeah, I'd probably give it to the mojito. You know, when it's busy, when it's not busy, I don't really necessarily have a least favorite drink. You know, I kind of enjoy the whole craftiness of bartending. You know, I love it when someone's like, just make me whatever, you know, because then like sometimes, you know, I'm gonna make them whatever, you know, and I'll just kind of think like, you know, I generally go for tequila. I will usually ask them like, hey, what's a spirit you don't like? And then, you know, they might say tequila, they might say gin, whatever the case is, and then I'll just stay away from that. And then I'll just kind of play around, you know. But yeah, that's I like the craftiness, you know. I like creating stuff, and so that's where I would go. Is yeah, mojito least favorite. I gotta grab some Angostura bitters, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna use Maker's Mark for my old-fashioned batch. How long have you been bartending for? It's been like since I turned 21. I was at the Texas Roadhouse, and that like isn't too extreme, you know, with the craftiness. It's basically draft beers, Jack and Cokes. Every now and again, someone will get an old fashioned. They have the handful of signature drinks, which you just build in the glassware. You know, I don't really remember shaking a whole lot there. So yeah, I started at 21. I think I was there for like a year. Also became the front of house training manager. And no hate to Roadhouse or anything, but it was just a lot of demand, and they'd want me to do things at home off the clock, and I'm just like, nah. So I hung up my hat there, and then I came here, 22, and been here ever since. You know, I've kind of dabbled into like the banking world and other things, but I've been here full time, did part time for a bit. Now I'm back full time, and then after this summer, I'll probably just be part time again, you know, because I'm trying to get my license for health and life. But yeah, it's been like, I'm 30 this year, so like ballpark 7-8 years, you know, bartending here, you know, 8-9 years, you know, completely, you know, as a whole. But yeah, let me go ahead and grab that bitters. I'm trying to think if I need any other ingredients while I'm walking away. No. That's about it. I got sugar cubes. No, I'm not even use sugar cubes. Okay. All right. One second. Let me be right back. How's it going? Good. You good? Get a drink over here? Probably. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Good. You know, just kind of bartending, you know, working on the mobile bar, and also trying to get my insurance, my license for health and life. So that's kind of the new jazz.
More exciting than being a teller.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes. You know, how are things with you?
Yeah, not bad.
Nice.
There was a teller that got hired. Her first day was Monday. We got her offboarding ticket yesterday.
Yeah.
She didn't make it 3 days.
Oh gosh.
That was funny.
Did she just not like it, or?
I don't know. I didn't get the story. I just like happened to see.
In and out.
We get emails whenever there's like someone getting fired or whatever.
Yep.
It's like, I was just literally looking at her. Welcome to the bank, folks. That was funny.
Don't get too comfortable. Yeah, we got a full bar, you know, so whether you want bottled beer or seltzers, tap beer, cocktails, martinis, wine, we got it all good.
Old fashioned.
Did you want that smoked?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's do it. How about for yourself?
Sorry, yeah, I'm just catching up on. Let's do a Coors Light bottle.
Coors Light bottle, gotcha.
I got all the confidence.
Good.
There's something how to make it. Yeah, there's nothing between.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's kind of boring. Who's next? I don't like being bored. Yeah, looking busy. I don't mind being bored. I like being full. So yeah.
You did have shit.
Yeah. Well,
I think probably seems a lot more tasty diets.
Coors Light.
absolutely.
So,
Got any plans for the weekend?
I don't know.
I really don't know. That would be nice. Things kind of creeping up on me. I didn't really plan on doing it. Here it is. Shit. Go. Good. My back's got to stop. Getting more mosquitoes. And limber up.
Right, gotcha.
I was just sitting in my truck looking at my phone, and then I went to like turn around to look where I'm backing up. All the muscles down my ribs just started hurting real bad.
Stay active
All right, smoked buffalo, old fashioned.
in a box.
In a box.
I love it.
Yeah. Do we want to start a tab?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Together or separate?
Separate.
Separate.
It smells like incense of some sort almost.
Yeah, we got a, gosh, what is it? Bourbon whiskey leaf and spices. Start a tab, bro.
Yes, please. We just burn that. It's like a nice house.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
That's neat.
Yeah, I love it. We used to have this other smoking box, and it was this big Patron bottle.
Yeah.
Cut the bottom off, but you could only fit one glass in there, so it wasn't really
Kind of
functional. Yeah.
Getting all full, yeah.
Yeah, you can fit 3 in here, so it's much better.
Sweet. Well,
Definitely a fun party tool for sure.
I'm glad you're more happy here.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll be outside too, so you guys don't worry about getting up by your seat. Cool. I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, what's going on? I don't know if y'all saw that. Smoked old fashioned. Oh, here we go. I just want to hang out with you guys today. How's it going?
Good. You still whiskey here?
Yeah, sure do.
You still got a bottle or no?
No. Yeah,
I'll
we
take
can.
a shot of Fireball.
Fireball. Gotcha. You want to start a tab or pay as you go?
Pardon me?
Would you like to start a tab or pay as you go?
No.
You know, it should be $6. How's your day been like?
Sure as hell, just got up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just getting it started.
Yeah,
Yes.
I usually don't make plans.
Yeah.
And I go by as the day goes, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in the
Every
same.
time I gotta make plans, something gets fucked up. So it's my
Happens to the
friends,
best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, how much are you?
$6. All right, I have 14.
Justin, when I get that in.
14 back for
Thank
you?
you.
Yeah, of course.
So how did they go?
Good. Going good. My son's birthday, he just turned 5.
Oh, okay.
So we,
He's a young one.
a young boy, up.
Yeah, I
He
got
keeps
like
a hands full.
I got like 3 boys, different relationships. One was he weighed 1.5 pounds when he was born,
Oh, wow.
and I had order for him to get out of the hospital. I had to put some pounds on him. So 5 pounds, I worked him up to 5 pounds. Then they took him home, but then the lady I was with, she sent him off for adoption. I got slapped in my face, so I ended up filling out adoption papers. You ever heard of see a grown man cry?
That would make me cry for sure.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with crying.
Right.
But yeah. But then I got 2 other boys. One's 35 and one's 30, 33, 34.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that made me cry.
Yeah, rightfully so. That I couldn't imagine. I also have 3 boys, and doing something like that would just. I'm sure you carry that till this day. Yeah. How
That you never ever let go. I mean, he was born with a heart murmur, the first one. He was purple when he came out.
Wow.
Little guy fit in the shoebox.
Yeah.
1.5 pounds.
Wow.
He was pretty small. But now I don't know if he's still alive or what, but you know.
How old is he? Do you,
He would have to be probably in his late 30s.
mm. So was he your firstborn?
The firstborn.
Firstborn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But
Wow.
yeah,
What'd you guys name him?
I named him after me.
Mm.
My name is Lonnie.
Lonnie? Jesse.
Jesse.
Jesse,
And
yeah.
I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know if he's alive or not. Yeah, you gotta just go with the flow, you know.
Right. Yeah, that for sure is tough. That is tough. You know, there's times where, you know, the boys. Well, it's my oldest. You know, he's 5, so he can, you know, act out and not listen. You know, and there's times like, just the other day he had spilled chocolate milk in the car, and I was pretty mad. You know, and it was
Oh
like,
yeah,
man,
I would be
come on,
too.
you know, like. And then after the fact, you know, after yelling at him, I just felt bad. You know, I was like, oh, that definitely could have been better at that. You know, and.
I understand you.
Yeah, I try to remember that the days go by fast, or the days go by slow, but the years go by fast, and just be thankful that.
That's why I never make any plans at the day turn.
Yeah.
Like they say on that movie about soap opera as world turn. That's about how it is.
Just keep it going. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. The world doesn't stop, no matter what you got going on.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it looks like it's gonna rain out, but I kind of hope it don't.
Yeah, me too. It
I'm
usually.
sick of that rain, man.
It's definitely more busier, you know, when it's nice out. You know, people really enjoy the patio.
Oh, I really enjoy the patio. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
nice patio, you know. Very nice patio.
How's it going? Hey, doing good. Good to see you. Cab. We have a Jaguar, or we can do a cab. I know I'm kind of getting low on the Jaguar, but. Yeah, yep, $5 today. Yeah, that one we've had longer than the Jaguar. So I'm sure, you know, before the Jaguar we had Sean Weiner.
Oh, yes.
That was very popular too, and yeah, we just switched up. How's your day been? Good. Outside of the weather, you know, I really wanted to be nice. Thursday, Friday, Junior, you know, it kind of gets busy, but with this weather, I don't know if it
Yeah, I
will
don't know, is
tonight.
it supposed to rain tonight? Let's see if you got
I
it.
think it is.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
We got a few people sitting outside.
I get out the weather so it lets me know every year,
Oh,
every day.
Oh, yeah.
It lets me know.
Did you want to start that? Absolutely.
Hey, but when you get a chance, I'll take one more of these.
One more? Absolutely.
You have casino games in here?
We do not.
You don't? That's okay. I didn't want to lose any money anyway.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
The other day, I was went to the bar High Hose,
Oh yeah, yep.
and won a second $10 or $11, walked out there with $1,100. Then went down to the casino down there, won another $900.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was doing pretty good that day.
It's always nice when you get the winnings.
But like a fool, I ended up sticking it all back in the machine like a fool. Yeah, more money, more.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes faster than we get it, you know.
Yeah. The more money you put in, the more money comes out. And let's say the higher the bet, the better it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big gambler. I'll do like blackjack or roulette, but that's about as far as.
I played that game 7, Street 7 or something like that.
How we doing? Doing great, thank you. Yeah, full bar, so we got it all. Martinis are $2 off today, so. Yeah, you came to the right spot. Tiramisu. Excellent. Tiramisu. Any other drinks we're thinking of?
I'm just gonna do cranberry carbless.
Cranberry carbless? Of course.
Yes. Like a party alone.
Sure do.
Can I do the party alone spray?
Yeah, you want to do a single or double?
A double.
And top glass. Is your friend stopping in too? Yeah. Cool. All right. Starter time as well. Absolutely, yes. What else? Let's go to that cake, of course.
You call that, brother?
You said what?
No, good job.
Oh, that's one of our signature martinis. It's called a tiramisu martini.
Very much good
Yeah, it has rum chata, vanilla vodka, Kahlua, and butterscotch.
You ever drink that like Thousand Island?
We do Long Island.
Is that like champagne?
It's a cocktail, so it's served over ice. whereas this has no ice. Tiramisu. Did you want to start a tab? No, that's just $3. What else I need? Yeah. I had that next door, so I'm gonna grab it. How about yourself? Still got it taken? Yeah, I can get you a water. Water, and I'll be right back with those other drinks. Absolutely. Stone IPA, that'll be $6.75. Double Gentleman Jack. You want to start that?
Have a good day, man.
Oh, you too. Thank you. Thank you all. Yes. Yes.
What do you use that for?
It's in a couple of our signature drinks.
Yeah.
We got a cucumber martini. Anytime someone gets a watermelon martini, which isn't like extremely popular or anything, but I like garnishing it with the cucumber. You know, it kind of pairs very well. And then we got a signature cocktail, the gin julep, that also has cucumber in it. So yeah, it's nice to have.
What's new around here?
Live music that just started last weekend. Live music out on the stage outside. We had Guilty Pleasures. They're our most popular band, and yeah, they definitely draw a crowd for sure. It was a madhouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, live music every Friday
Every Friday.
and Saturday. Yes, yep. And then next week, Thursday, we're starting live music as well. So our first opener, that's going to be Micah Wetzel. And then yeah, here on out throughout the summer, it'll be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, live music on the stage, weather permitting, of course, you know. But yeah, you know, and then it's in the works, but we're generally closed on Sundays, but we will be opening up hopefully next week or the week after that, and we do our day parties, different themes, you know, like we do a beach party, a Jersey party, you know, that kind of stuff, and we'll have our live DJ here those Sundays, and yeah, different atmosphere. You know, we'll put out like ping pong tables, bags, uh,
Idea.
Connect Four. Yeah, yeah, we started doing it maybe 4 years ago.
What draw probably maybe a little younger
Yeah.
crowd or?
Yep. Yeah, we started first summer. It was from 12 to 6, and younger crowd, they're not getting up and out until like 4, you know. And we tried doing this like mimosa bar and all that jazz. It just never really worked out.
Hi.
Anything you
Can
need?
I steal your eagle rail?
Yeah.
I was gonna pour a glass in there.
Yeah,
And then you can bring it right back up.
for sure. Um, yeah, so we switched it up. We're trying to figure out the hours because like last summer we did like from 3 to 8. Still, once again, our crowd really doesn't start flourishing in until about like 5 o'clock. You know, so like the
Even on
first.
Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we'd be here for like an hour or two, and we're just kind of twirling our thumbs around, you know, waiting for business to get going, you know. And so this summer, I think we should do like 4 to 9, you know. And I like those shifts because it's only 5 or 6 hours, you know. So it's just like super quick and easy, but super, you know, slack, you know. Everyone's just super chill. You know, a lot of industry people will come in, you know, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's just some days, you know, it gets hot. You know, like July, you know, we would put some umbrellas up, you know, and like we'll do the whole beach theme, water theme, you know, and but yeah, it still gets hot, so we try to
Do you
like
do the bar outside then?
yeah,
With that? Yeah.
exclusively just a bar outside.
Oh, just outside. Okay.
Yeah, we don't do any fancy cocktails, martinis, just kind of the simple things.
Okay.
And yeah, inside's completely closed. Of course, people can use the bathrooms, but yeah, we just are open outside.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, yep. That's
I suppose you have to. Do you have all the bar supplies out there, or do you
yeah.
have to move it all?
Every weekend we have to move it all. Yep, every Friday, every set, you know, we get everything out there. End of the night, we bring it all back in. We have coolers out there, you know, that we keep stocked. But as for everything else, you know, we bring out all the bottles, ice, the fruits, the whole works. You know, we set up. Um, but yeah, no, it's definitely summer's where it's at here at the bin. You know what it's like. Fall, winter, spring. It's kind of
Just quiet.
chill. Yeah,
That's kind
yeah.
of why we like it.
100%. No, I get people that say that all the time, and I'm totally with you. Whenever, you know, I go out, I definitely prefer the intimate part of it. You know,
Yeah.
as a,
Where do you like to go when you go out?
my personal favorite cocktail lounge would be attached with Parker's Myrtle's bar.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, yeah, they've probably been open I think 2 or 3 years, something to that manner. But I love
No, we used
Parker's.
to go to Parker's, but I haven't been there in a long time. We started going, so my son worked at Grwm,
Yep.
and then he was full of crowd, and so he's only like 20.
Oh yeah.
He
Yep.
worked there when he was like 15, 16.
Oh wow.
And then that whole crowd that worked there all moved to Arabella's and
Oh
Wine Bar.
yep.
And so then
Yep.
he started working at the Wine Bar too, but that's
Oh yeah.
So I need to get to Harvard Hurdles. I haven't even been there since I used to.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, there comes to cocktails. I think they have the best in town. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And it doesn't really get extremely busy. Like their busy is full bar rail. They have tables there, but it's definitely kind of a quiet place.
What about Myrtles?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
I'm sure Friday, Saturday they're busy, but I'm always here, Friday, Saturday, so I don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what's up there. Yep, right there. You got it. Any big summer plans?
We're remodeling our house, so that's all the money and time.
Yeah, yep. Yep, it definitely seems like a lot to tackle.
No trips.
Yeah, yep.
This is the Ken.
Wood. Kenwood. Kenwood cab, yep.
I'll just do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Mom Clinic Day.
Ah. Yeah. It's the most miserable day.
Oh, Thursday.
Work way more. Yeah. I really think Friday, Monday. So it's like I should have been off. Well, I'm off tomorrow. I should be off on Monday, but March is my vacation all week. So I work the full week next week. That is doing your Wednesday. Every other week we have a full week before Wednesday. We just, I actually, I brought it up in front of Becky when she was like, I don't know.
As long as the work's getting done.
No, like tomorrow morning I'll have to like come home and put in all my orders and then well and work. Yeah. Yeah. I mean this is okay where like we're trying it out.
I know. I feel like I hate
So what did you decide? Didn't you say you did dishes?
I brought
Okay.
that. Piano. I think they're trying to.
Cool.
So there's some of them are we're like because the director
So like you don't have inpatient oncology, but you would have radiation and you'd have probably outpatient and infusion.
Okay, we're gonna go for a little walk chat. Let's see. Thank you, TB Meister. Love your content. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Carlos. 26, too old to start bartending? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. You know, that's. Oh God, I was gonna grab back here. Gosh, you ever walk through a door and forget what you're grabbing?
Yes, do you know what you're supposed to do? Walk back to the door and come back.
Really?
Apparently when you walk through the door, there's more ways for prostitutes to lose your train of thought, but when you walk back through it,
Which door did I walk through?
that's the question.
Oh.
I don't know. You went through two.
Oh gosh. You think if I walk through this door, that'll be...
I bet you're looking for pineapple juice, limes, lemons, apple juice, some kind of juice, if you're in that hallway. That's what I would think.
I don't smoke weed. So if that's... That would be the case like 2 years ago, but
Right.
it's not the case here. Oh, you... Ah, mint. Mint. That would be in here. Yeah.
That's
Mint.
what they do.
Oh! Wow, shout out to the Mary Jane. Damn. Let me roll up this mint. Put one in the air. Uh-huh. We don't have any though. So RIP. Yeah. Get my steps in. Whatevs, no mint. Yeah, no mints. Just doing a recap. I got everything I need. Alright, well. Yeah, 26 too old. No, it's not. The question you should be asking yourself, is it something you see yourself doing and enjoying? You know, have you ever been in the service industry? You know, do you, Carlos, or is this like, you know, the first time that you could be dealing with people face to face? You know, bartending, it's a lot of fun. I do think it can be challenging, you know, if you're not used to late nights, if you have a family, because that's one thing that I hate the most is come Sunday, I'm just gassed out, you know, and I feel like I'm not the best father in the sense of really being there and doing fun stuff because I'm just like, man, I'm beat, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, Carlos, if you know you have any more questions, man, ask away. But you should be asking yourself if it's something that you can see yourself doing, you know, whether age, you know, I know people that are like 40 bartending, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think age is a big factor, you know, but yeah. What up, Matt? I'm just chilling, looking for mint, couldn't find it. What's up, Fake Fury? Start bartending a few weeks here. Any tips on getting started? You know, hospitality, that's huge. That is huge. So I would say number one thing is hospitality, you know what I'm saying? Are you good with people? That's the question, you know, you should be thinking about. Are you good with people? You can definitely learn drinks, learn cocktails, learn the menu as you go. Obviously, you want to nail that down, you know, the 10 most popular drinks, the menu there at your establishment. Definitely get that stuff down because you don't want to be taking time away from the guests looking up the recipes and stuff like that. So yeah, do you see yourself being good with hospitality? That's the first thing. First things first, man. You want to take care of your people for sure. So, but anywho, I'm gonna head out. Yo, thanks for watching, you guys. Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, do the whole works. Love you guys. Until next time. Hey.